Hello everyone, I'm Linda and welcome back to my channel. For this vlog, I plan on doing a day in the life with me. It's a Monday today that this is being recorded and I've got quite the list of things that I need to do. And I felt like today was such a great day to do a day in the life vlog because it really encompasses every hat that I wear as both a business owner and a homeowner and a wife, and just all the things that come into running a household and a business simultaneously. A few things that are on my list as it pertains to business is I've got a really big client file transition that's happening. So I need to prep some paperwork. I'll be meeting the client today at 1 in order to get everything signed, just because electronic is not a convenient option for them. And because I'm meeting them on the west end of Edmonton, I'm also gonna make use of my time out of the house and stop in at Fossil and get my watch looked at because the back faceplate, whatever you would call it, has popped off. So I wanna see if they will fix it or if I'm gonna add a handy dandy DIY super glue the back of my watch back on moment. And that very well might happen. Other things that fall on my list today is going to be doing some meal prepping. We built the big meal for the week, which was a chili mac and cheese, and it is amazing. So that's fully cooked and put together for the week. The other two dishes is fish tacos and salad wraps. So I'm just gonna prep some veggies for the salad wraps so that when we go to make it, it's just a whole lot easier. And then a few other things that just need to get done. I need to wash the bedding. The floor is looking a little bit dusty, so I'm gonna start the Pumbaa, which is the equivalent of me vacuuming. I'll let her run her cycle and then I'll go around the house and get the corners and baseboards and things like that. Those are a few of the things that are on my list that need to get done. Obviously, days are very unpredictable and spontaneous, so we'll see if anything else gets added to that. So here's a list that gets made that probably looks a little bit backwards to you. So paperwork, prepping for this client, that's going to be a top priority. That's why I put it at the top of my list. I'm going to spend most of my morning doing that. That being said, there's a few things that are really easy to just quickly check off, such as stain removing our bedding and throwing it into the wash. When I say stain removing, our pup has a challenge with his anal glands, unfortunately. They're, as the vet would call them, too healthy. And sometimes they get a little bit excited when he's relaxed. So we're gonna stain remove that because even though we washed it, it didn't fully come out. So I have a farmer stick. We're gonna do that. That's something that can get done really, really quick. And I'm a big fan of, yes, making a to-do list and prioritizing, but if I have the ability to also check some really quick things off my list, then I am totally going to get those done right away. So we're gonna start there. I'm gonna lay our 100 square foot blanket out on the ground, spot treat the areas that need it, get that in the wash so that it can get done throughout the day. Hopefully put it in the dryer by the time that I get home. And then while I do some paperwork, I'm gonna start our Roomba so that she can do her thing while I'm in the office with the door closed. This massive blanket is a full 1,000 square feet. Off the top of my head, I believe it is the size of 2 or 3 regular blankets. This was Jason's wedding gift to me. We always joke that he's always hogging the blankets. This literally takes away any excuse of me not having blankets while we're sleeping. So it's a fun inside joke, but literally this thing is so massive that it floods our queen size bed. I'm excited to throw it on the king once we move into the new one, but it's got a beautiful design on it. The color is absolutely perfect. It's massive, so it's great for bundling up on the couch. But there's a few spots that I just need to treat. And I know that there's another one somewhere. I may have to treat this one, flip the blanket over and hunt for the other spot before I toss it in the wash. I will be sure to link this blanket in the comments below. It's from a company called Big Blankets. They truly live up to their namesake, and this one in particular is just absolutely beautiful and so soft. So when it comes to stains in our house, I have this stick. I keep it in the box so it stays dry, but it is from Bunch of Farmers Stain Remover Stick. This stuff is literally magic when it comes to stains. I'll link it in the comments below. I ordered it off of Amazon in a 3-pack. I've kept one for myself, one put away, and one's being given as a baby gift. And that was originally how I heard about it. I had a friend who was having their baby shower, and I asked another friend, what is one thing that every mom should have, you know, as they're having a baby? And she said what everyone should have is the Bunch of Farmers Stain Stick, because apparently it's really great for exploding diapers for the mamas out there. And it has literally saved so many garments in our closet because it removes stains that are very old and that otherwise don't just come out in the wash. So literally just for water in the stain stick, you spray the stain. But I do want to just share the label that they put on this blanket. It literally says, warning, you can get lost in this blanket, because it's literally that big. So I'm going to throw this in the wash. Throw this thing in there. We're going to put this on a bulky load on cold. So starting that laundry, while not the biggest priority on my list, it is something that I can knock off really fast. Before I head off to meet with my client, I'll be able to throw that into the dryer so that when I get back, I can then finish that up and make the bed. So the next thing I need to do now is just go through the house, make sure there's nothing like dog toys or phone cables that are dangling down so that I can start the Pumbaa, and then I can get into the office and start working on some paperwork. Hey Google, start Pumbaa. So now the laundry has been started, the Pumbaa is running. So now I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna grab myself a water, I'm gonna start putting together the paperwork for this client this afternoon so that everything can be very quick and efficient when we sit down, so I'm not wasting any of their time and I'm being the most productive with my own time. But anytime I'm looking to sit down and get started in the office, I really appreciate a clean work environment while I'm working. So the first thing that I'll do is I will take a microfiber cloth and just dust my desk, get rid of all of the clutter and distractions and extra paperwork that don't need to be there so that I can really focus on what I need to get done without any distractions. right, so I've been doing a whole bunch of paperwork. I realized that it's almost 11:30 and I haven't eaten yet. And if I'm gonna be leaving the house, I need to remember to eat. So I got a few things that I still need to wrap up in terms of paperwork, so I'm gonna have to really rush to get that done. I threw the blanket into the dryer because it had finished its cycle. It may need to be thrown into the dryer twice because it's so big, so I'm glad I caught that. For breakfast, also almost lunch, I'm going to make some avocado toast because that is something that I can whip up super duper fast. So now I'm gonna head back to the computer. Was able to whip that up in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna enjoy this while I finish some more paperwork. All right, so I have about 15 more minutes before I have to pack up my bags and be out the door. Thankfully, it's only about a 10-minute drive to get to West Edmonton Mall to meet up where I'm meeting up with these clients. Because I'm so busy in a day, it's important to fit in these random little things wherever it is that I can. So having this 15 minutes, meaning that I can get a quick chore done around the house, is going to be beneficial. So I'm gonna do that. I will see you when I get back from my appointment, because I'm leaving right away. See ya. All right, I am back finally from my client appointment. My computer is acting up a little bit, so I'm gonna need to get in touch with my amazing computer friend who is gonna help me figure out what's going on and why it kept crashing. So it's still gonna be a little bit of paperwork that I need to do for these clients to be able to help them out, but that is totally okay. I'm back home now. Once we have that sorted, I'll be able to finish up that paperwork for the client. So now that Pumbaa ran, I'm gonna grab the vacuum and just get like the corners and edges that she's not able to get. I'm going to do one more load of laundry, vacuum the floor, and then, oh, that lighting is terrible. Let's come over here. I'm gonna do a quick tidy of the kitchen. So after I get that stuff done, then I'm gonna go through and do a really quick across the home declutter. I'm dreading packing and moving so much stuff. So I definitely want to make sure that we're not moving more things than we need, because that's just not going to be a whole lot of fun. So I'm going to take you along on a quick declutter. We're gonna go through random areas of the house, pull out things I know we're not bringing with us. We've been really talking about moving more towards a minimalist lifestyle, and I appreciate that that doesn't happen overnight, but making those small baby steps is going to be tremendous to start now so that we don't have to do it later. I lied. I can't do anything right now. Okay, I started laundry. And when your laundry is literally what feels like in the kitchen, I gotta close that door or you're gonna be able to hear it running. I can't do nothing right now because I am starving. So, making a quick little snack. I've got some peppers. I've got some cream cheese, everything bagel seasoning. So I'm gonna take the three, bop them together, and have a quick snack. We are starting here at the linen closet, not because I have anything that I need to do in here, only because I just did. I think it was yesterday. I was just not tired, closer to the evening, so I figured I would go through this. I didn't film it just because it was so late and Jason was watching TV. So I went through here, and this is what inspired me to add decluttering to my day today just because I realized that there's so many more things that I'm definitely ready to let go of. I started out in here, I took a whole lot of stuff out, and all of that stuff is now hanging out right here. So I went through the linen closet and I took out a whole bunch of stuff that we're just ready to get rid of. There's some towels in here that I have since replaced, so we just don't need them. For the longest time I was using these dark blue ones for the dog, but I realized that after I bathe him, he should be clean, so white towels is just gonna work fine. And then we have a brand new bed that's basically just on layaway right now, that as soon as we move into our new house, which was supposed to be literally right now, but the bed is literally paid for and ready to be delivered as soon as we have our possession day. So all of the extra queen size bedding we have thrown in here. The other thing about linens, the reason I really want to talk about it is that stuff like towels, and we've just got some extra blankets. These were actually party favors for our wedding. There were just some people who just chose not to keep them, and that is okay because we told them that if they choose to leave the blanket behind, it's going to be donated either to the homeless shelter or the animal shelter. So I am going to hold on to these extra blankets and extra towels for just a little while longer in hopes that by the time that we do move, I'll be able to actually drop these off. This is our office space. This room serves so many purposes. It serves as a reading space. This is a chair. By reading, I mean typically the dog sits here. It is our office. We've got our desk here. We do appointments here. This is where I sit down to do Zoom appointments and edit videos. And it's really the additional quiet space when we need to get work done. It's our library. So we have tons of just books, awards, extra storage. And this closet here houses so much storage. Like, we're talking, there are golf clubs in here. There's a tote of kitchen stuff that we just do not have room for in our actual kitchen, but that we want to keep. So we occasionally dig through there to get the kitchen stuff that we need. A lot of things are seasonal, like popsicle holders, though I might have gotten rid of those in a past decluttering moment that I had. But I know that there are a few jackets, specifically my own, that I'm just not loving anymore, so I can definitely get rid of those. And then I have a few other things over here, specifically things like fabrics that I'm just not going to get around to, so I can donate those as well. Next step, let's open up the catastrophe of a storage closet. Don't judge me. So this is the coat that I had in mind. It's a really nice like trench coat. Unfortunately, it's not flattering anymore to what I wear, but it's also gotten pretty snug, and I tried putting it on over a sweater the other day and it just didn't fit. So I've been really wanting to get a camel colored like wool jacket. So that's going to be it for in there. There's just so much in here, and I recently went through it and completely organized it. But even like this box and a lot of the stuff in here, these are literally just empty boxes that either house a bunch of other boxes and packing material so that when we move, we have a little bit extra and we start to accumulate early where we can fit. But I've gone through this recently. In this case, I only found one of my coats that I'm ready to part with. So Jason will need to go through his jackets to see what still fits and what he still loves, and we'll get rid of it. This is the pile of stuff so far that are put aside to go to the thrift store. So that wraps up the office. I'm gonna put things back into their order and we'll head into maybe the kitchen. I've been through the kitchen a handful of times and there have been a few things that I just never got around to grabbing and throwing into the bins, or things that just occurred to me that I'm like, we don't need 2, or we don't need that many, or I never use it so I'm not gonna miss it if it's gone. So we're gonna go through the drawers one by one and just see what it is that we find that we can let go of in here. This first little drawer, this one here is just a weird drawer. It's super tiny. Our kitchen has really rough storage. So many of our cabinets, especially on this island piece, just have really weird storage. So you can't put a whole lot because there's a lot of cords and cables in there. Thankfully, we've been able to downsize to a point where we just don't have a whole lot that we keep in our kitchen. So we've got all of our small Tupperware containers that's sitting here. Normally our Ziploc bags are back there. We've got some lid covers. And then we also have some Tupperware dip bowls. And I absolutely hate the color. This is an extra milk frother. So I'm gonna let this go. We have this spiralizer, and you know what? I just realized that I hate spiralized noodles, and if I ever did like spiralized noodles, I would just buy them because they're less runny and nasty. So that thing actually takes up an extreme amount of space in this teeny tiny drawer, so I'm kind of excited to get rid of that. So these are just a few of the things just from the kitchen alone, obviously not the vacuum, that are going to be put into the list of things that we are going to be parting with. And I swear that's almost a full box worth of things that we are saving space when we move for. So super excited about that. All right, so the next room that we are coming into is the bedroom. The first area I want to start was the closet. If you look back at a few videos from prior, you will see that I just did a recent spring to fall closet clean out. I already went through it. There was a few pieces that I was kind of unsure about whether I want to keep or not. So I went through the closet after a little bit of time and realized that a couple of those things I was just never going to wear again. The first is this fur vest. So I'm happy to get rid of that. And then the other was just this sleeveless sweater turtleneck. So lastly is just this red clutch bag. Heading over to my jewelry cabinet. There is probably a lot more in here than I wear, but I've been realizing that a lot of the bigger, bulkier stuff, they're cute, but I don't wear them anymore. I'm more into a more simple look. There's also a couple bracelets. I've got earring box, we can get rid of that. I also have a Bulova watch that I just don't wear. I have a Fossil smartwatch that I'm actually looking to upgrade. So it doesn't make sense to be holding on to another watch that I don't use. So I'm gonna get rid of this one too. And then I also have a few other rings that I got many, many years ago in Mexico. So I'm gonna let those go. And then lastly is my nightstand. Our new king size bed that we're getting obviously it doesn't have nightstands built into the headboard. This is a unique piece. Not only are we not going to have a nightstand each right away when we move, but the ones that we're getting, I want them to be a lot smaller. So I realized that I really need to go through this and compact what I can to start planning ahead for the fact that we are just not going to have all this fantastic space, at least in our side tables for our beds. Very few things that I keep on the top. I have plant. I have the original ring box for my engagement ring. When I take my rings off at night, or when I'm doing grungy work and I need to take them off, they go right in here. So I always know where they are. They're not going to get lost. I have a few essential oils that I keep in this pretty jar. There's a few that are getting pretty close to empty, or some that are just of not the greatest quality. I keep my LED face mask here. Absolutely adore this thing. It stays on my nightstand. It'll stay on my nightstand in the next house as well. I also have an extra eye mask. I've never been crazy about this one. I have this one that is extremely old from the dollar store. I love it. I've tried to replace it and nothing else comes close. This one's been used on the dog more than it's been used for me. And then just this last little box that has a box in it. These are random things like receipts and gift cards. So there's an extra USB cord, but looks like I already have one here. It probably charges my face mask, so I don't need two of them. Gift cards. We've got a gift card for the couch that we're getting for the new place. I've got a gift card for some plants, extra, or what's left of the gift cards for all of the home stuff we're buying. These were some ring loops that I had used to try and snug up my wedding ring. Unfortunately, they're just a pain in the butt. I've just accepted that my ring is just gonna move on my hands, and that's the way she goes. We've got so many gift cards that we just, maybe I need to not have these in here. Maybe I need to have them out where we can see them all the time. I've got some Moxie's gift cards, some mini golf, Red Lobster, movie passes, Indigo. I've got a few rec room bracelets that still have dollars on them that we can use. And then I've got some slippers, which just stay here for until the colder winter months. So that's just a bunch of extra things that I've been able to pull out of my nightstand, which is going to be awesome because it's that much less stuff I need to find room for in the new house. Thank you so much for joining me on a very spontaneous Monday, typical in the life of a business owner. So now I'm just going to make myself some supper, hang out, relax for the rest of the evening. Jason's going to be home from his appointments for the day real soon, so we're going to enjoy some quality time together. I really appreciate you joining me as I go about a pretty regular but spontaneous workday, and also taking some time to declutter with me as we prepare for our very exciting move in the next couple months. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe so we can share these adventures together and that you never miss one of my upcoming videos. Very excited to see you in the next one. Bye!